I'm going to demonstrate how shadows are cast in a room. So here's my room with the edges coming out and the back of the room, and it's drawn in one-point perspective, so you'll see this vanishing point. Here's the room, and I've added a light source. It's a light bulb hanging from the ceiling. Here we have our old friend, a pole, standing on the floor of this room, and we're going to find its shadow. Now obviously we have an angle down from the light bulb, which can go over the top of the pole, which would give us the end of the shadow. We know the shadow starts at the bottom somewhere. But we have to find the ground angle. That means we have to find on the ground some point that represents where this light is directly above, so it relates to the bottom of the pole. We do this by what I call going around the barn. We first take the position of the light, we carry it back towards the back wall using the vanishing point. We see where it intersects the back wall. We take where it hits the back wall and come down the wall to the floor. Now we're at the floor. We can then, just as we came from here to the wall, we can come out from the wall into the room on a floor plane. Again, using the vanishing point. Now we have the line coming across the floor. We drop another line down from the bulb, and we find the point that gives us the ground angle for the shadow. Carrying this ground angle to the base of the pole and out where it intersects with the angle down will give us the length of its shadow. And now that we have its shadow, let's try a different kind of shadow. Here I've put a shelf on the wall. Notice I've done it in perspective using the vanishing point. Because the shelf is on the wall, we know the shadow will touch these two corners. These two corners are out in the air somewhere. So we have to find out where the shadow would be for these two corners as it's cast from the light bulb onto the wall. First step, we drop down two poles. But because this is on the wall, we don't know where these poles stop. We have to calculate that. Once again, we're going to go around the barn. Down the wall, hits the floor, out across the floor. This tells us where the poles would end if they hit the floor. Now we have the ground angle going from this point below the light bulb, out, just under the bottom, and onto the wall, and then it goes up the wall, just as shadows do on uneven surfaces. Same with this side. Now we take the angle down from the light bulb. These two are very close together, going through this corner and this corner. This one stops right here, and this one stops right there. So we now have found where these corners have their shadows on the wall. The next step would be to connect this corner and this, and this, and then find the line between the two, just as the line goes between these two. And we're going to find that what it does is goes back to the vanishing point. And here would be the shadow coming down to the point, over, back, up, and this line goes to the one-point perspective. Using these simple techniques, you can place any kind of object you want in this room, break it down into poles or poles that come from corners, and find where the shadows are cast.